pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, anybody for the prayer, so we're going to skip that tonight.
Or a prayer.
Yeah, unless you want to pray, Joyce.
I don't think he wants to hear what I have to say.
Oh, okay. Roll call?
Scott?
Yes.
Joyce? Yeah. Stan?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Rob?
Okay, everybody have a chance to review the minutes? If you have, then we need a,
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second it.
Joyce? Yeah. Bill?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
Stan?
Yes.
Steve?
Sustained.
Rob?
Yes.
okay. We need approval of the financial report. Well, you wanna go, you better go over it
We're gonna go over
first.
first, you know, you need a bank reconciliation, looks like we have adjusted bank balance as of 5/31/2016, $1,572,711.71. Actually did there this time. And the payment listing and the amount of checks that were written total $33,000, $33,762.83. You need that line? I copy that.
I got your.
You got it? You
No.
get it too?
Okay. Any discussion on that? If not, we need approval.
I'll make a motion. I'll second.
Steve?
Yes.
Rob? Scott?
Yes.
Joyce? Yeah. Stan?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Okay. Special guest, we'll have a couple here later to, we're running late, so at least one. Public comment, we have any public comment?
I'm just watching.
That's you.
Let me go for it.
Oh, this is gonna go fast.
Oh.
Oh, sorry, I'm on camera.
Hey, yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Okay,
Come in?
finance budget audit, Scott, you just did
Yeah, we
your
just did,
thing.
yeah, we need to try to make changes.
Okay. Police, Brandon?
You guys have been given a monthly report. The only two things to add to that at the bottom of the comments, Officer Brocious and Officer Leary attended the field day at the school and played with the kids. I think they probably had more fun than the kids did, and I could tell they were wore out, so I appreciate them doing that, and they will be commended for their activities there. Also, officers are currently finally done with their CPT training, which is a state mandated 11 hours that we have to do every year. It's gonna go up incrementally every year. And the state kind of reimburses us for that as long as we keep within those standards. If we don't, then officers then can be removed from service until they get that. So we have all completed that early. It doesn't have to be done until the end of the year, so.
That's good. I've heard a lot of positive comments about Mr. Leary. I mean, I've seen him running around and he
Good.
seems good, so.
Mhm.
Good.
So at least we have some presence in the village now. So
He's getting acclimated to where things are and things like that, so it's been a little slow in coming, but I think he's getting comfortable with the area and things like that, so. He's been working an average of about 29 hours a week this time. The only other thing I have to bring up is back in January, I was sent a letter from the Ohio Collaborative Community Police Advisory Board. They are going to be creating standards now for Ohio police departments. By March 31st, 2017, we have to be in compliance with those standards. Those standards will be policies, procedures, and things like that that'll be pretty much mandated and uniform throughout the state, involving use of force, pursuits, anything that's can be detrimental to the village, money-wise. So right now, we're kind of working together as the Seneca County Chiefs to develop some of those things to kind of work together. We've kind of just been thrown all this, hey, you need to do this, kind of an unfunded mandate type thing. So we're working together to try to develop those things and figured out what we're gonna do. There will be new hiring procedures, including, you know, more strict background checks, physicals and things like that. So look for in the future, there will be additional costs to hiring personnel because we will have to do things that we were not required to do in the past, so.
So there'll be a compliance cost, is what you're saying.
Correct, and of course, I don't know how much that'll be, but I know physicals can be upwards of, you know, $500 to $1,000, so we're gonna have some additional cost, in that, and we're still working, luckily we have a little bit of time to develop those policies and develop those standards, to get in compliance with those standards, but the clock's ticking, so I'm trying to work towards that.
So that will be worked into our employee handbook and stuff, so that all that stuff is,
Yeah, I mean, I think it is specific to the police department, so it may be just something we can put in our policy.
okay.
And luckily they've given us some examples, so it makes it
A little bit easier.
a little bit easier, but this is my first go at that type of situation, so it's slow in coming, but luckily we have a lot of good chiefs in Seneca County that have been very helpful, and we have meetings, you know, quarterly to discuss these types of things, so I think we'll be within that compliance at the time frame, but it's gonna be a lot of work.
Okay.
So we're working towards that. The only other thing I want to bring up is, I know back in last year around this time, we brought up about a new cruiser. And I'd like to try to reevaluate that, and I have the quote from last year. I would imagine the price would be similar, so I would like you guys to start thinking about that. The one we have now is about, I think it's about 6 or 7 years old. So, and again, it wasn't made to be a police cruiser, so we've had some issues with some of the wiring, things that were done, kind of homemade.
Mhm.
So I wanna start looking in towards that. I know in the past, we've unfortunately had budgets or money that's been returned because we haven't had enough manpower. So I would like to, you know, have some consideration based on the fact that I was able to return some money, unfortunately, because we didn't have enough manpower, but if we wanna get good people and things like that, we're gonna have to have some upgrades and some equipment here in the near future. So just, I would like you to start thinking about that, and I can get you a new quote or a different quote if you guys would like, but this is state bid, so it's pretty much, that's what